Welcome to my Rambly Life update number 6. I normally do this as like a whip and chat where I'm working on something, but today it landed on a kit up. This is where I just update how my life has been since the last Rambly Life update. I make a variety of diamond painting content. If you like that kind of stuff, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's just kind of see how this goes. This is my second time kitting up. I'm using the Elizabeth Ward style stuff. This is called we put stuff inside of it. Storage. Yeah, storage. I did kind of prepare a little bit. I learned my lesson last time. I know I'm gonna have static problems. So yeah, this week has been, oh, Charlie. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Sorry, I had to go make sure he didn't have to potty or anything. He is good to go. I forgot to put his blanket in there. This is my first time kitting up a Dreamer Designs. This is the free kit that I got. I just had to pay for shipping, so I'm trying out this brand. And I'm kind of excited. I'm loving the color palette. This is 720. And yeah, I'm super excited. I will show you the picture of what it is at the end. I'm trying to figure out how to use this static guard. I have been trying to walk earlier because yes, it's warming up and I am seeing so many more neighbors than before. Like, I guess they just naturally walk earlier and it's been so nice. We do have a woman in our neighborhood who is very big on like dog etiquette, I should say. And if she sees you struggling with your dog or if sees that you have a puppy, she offers her dogs to, you know, be distractions. Like Charlie still gets really curious about other dogs on walks. You know, he's not like barking or lunging at him, but he just wants to stare at him. So he'll kind of just keep his head turned the whole time, want to kind of introduce. He'll whine, but he hasn't really barked or anything. So we kind of just hung out with her and got to know her a little bit. She has an elderly dog and that's just a mix. It's got to be like a Putty mixed with something else. I'm not quite sure. Very unique looking. Has the coloring almost of like a collie, like that brindle, but not just like the darker color brindle, like the marbling almost of like grays, black, white, a creamy off-white. You know what I mean. And she also has a younger dog that's like maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, and a little bit more excitable. So she had me walk behind her until he was fully settled and his curiosity was satiated. And then she went across the street and had me go ahead of her so she can go back behind us and kind of get used to dogs or other people walking behind us. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great experiment. And then our last little bout of trying this out was, what did she do? Oh, she had us walk side by side. And she had, you know, we each had our dogs on the outside at first, and we went a couple blocks like that until he was completely calm and didn't care. And then she had us walk with the dogs on the inside. So we were on the outside and the dogs were on the inside. And that went really well. I only had to correct him once when he decided in the middle of it was playtime. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. I was like, wow, maybe all of this time in training is really paying off, because there are times that I just think I'm completely failing him and I'm worried about it because he's such a high drive dog that I just want to provide the best possible life for him. I want him to be well behaved. I don't want him to be overreactive, but I also want him to understand that he can, you know, properly engage and just be neutral to different scenarios. Now, he is only 6 months. I have to keep that in mind. He's a little baby. You know, he's just a baby. And his curiosity might get the best of him sometimes. I can't expect him to be the perfect dog at all times. But I do have expectations of him not completely going nutty. So it's just, it was such a nice experience to have a neighbor be like, hey, I see you walking him all the time. I guess walks at like 5 in the morning. She's like, I got a late start today. If you want, we can meet like once a week or so. I'll walk a little later and you could walk a little earlier and we can meet in the middle and we can do these little exercises and maybe eventually have some play dates, because her senior dog isn't as playful as, you know, obviously it was when she first got her puppy, because she's had her puppy for, I guess, 3 years now and whatnot. So she's like, maybe we can do little walks and play dates and stuff and whatnot. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. And she was like, and if this progresses well over the next year of meeting up consistently, if you ever go out of town, you know, maybe I could puppy sit for you or whatnot, and just so my dog could have a little play friend for a little bit. And I thought that was amazing. Like, I don't really talk to neighbors. I don't go out, and it kind of opened my eyes that I have a whole community here that I could build. And literally my next door neighbor, I live in an old neighborhood, and me and my husband are pretty much the youngest ones that live in this whole neighborhood. So I don't know, I just didn't think that anyone would be interested in, you know, walking with the young family. And she was like, yeah, of course. Like, I was like, but sometimes I might have my kids, and, you know, some people just don't like kids, so I don't want to throw that on her. And she's like, that's fine, you know, it's just walks. If, you know, during the summertime when you have to walk earlier, I'm expecting you to have your kids. It's nice to see some young life around here, and it was so nice. 939. So I think I made a new friend and I'm all giddy about it. Like, yes, she may be in her 70s and she is a writhing though. She's got some spring to her step. She still walks every day. She does yoga. She was telling me about her Red Hat Society that she goes to meets with her friends and stuff. And it was so entertaining. Definitely am excited more for walking now. Especially if it benefits me and my dog. Like, I get to make a friend and my dog gets some good training out of it. Yes, please. And then we did miss a couple trainings with Charlie. We missed one in person where she comes to our home and one in class. I think I already told you about the one in class that I missed. That was last week. But after that, after we had talked, I missed the one in person because she had gone out of town, and I guess getting back in town was a pain in the butt. And she's like, look, I've been driving all night and I could be there in 10 minutes. I'm running a little late. And I was like, girl, just stay home. Relax, you've been out of town. I am not a picky, you know. She's been so good about making up when I have to miss out. It was her first time in the last 24 weeks, you know, over 2 months of training sessions that, girl, just stop. This is your first one. She was like panicking. I was like, I appreciate your work ethic, but it's okay to be a human. You are not a robot. You are working overtime on my dog, by the way. She's giving me great prices. She absolutely adores my puppy and is like, I will puppy sit for you if you go out of town. Like, she loves my dog. So for that kind of dedication that she's giving me, I'm pretty sure I could handle giving her a day off, you know? So we're gonna make up for that sometime this week. Tomorrow's our normal day, but maybe on like Friday or something she can stop by. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the dog park and working on recall, which I'm super excited for because, like I've been saying, since he's turned 6 months old, he has just been a little monster. Like, he wants to listen, but he gets so distracted and so excited that he just kind of turns into a goober, a big, dumb goober. So we're gonna work on recall. She asked me to find the squeakiest of squeak toys. So I'm going to do that. I think maybe I'll take the kids with me to help pick out some squeaky toys, like maybe just like a squeak ball and maybe one of the ones that have like the plastic crinkly noises, and work on recall in public. Like, he's pretty good about it at home. He doesn't really race out the front door unless my husband's home. So I'm not too worried about that. He has come every time. And also we do a lot of stuff outside, like our archery, or if we're working on the yard or whatnot, he kind of stays in our area, and anytime I've called him, he's come. But I do notice he's noticing the neighbors walking by more often, and the last thing I want is him to be like, oh my God, I'm excited, and completely forget that he's supposed to be behaving and just run up to greet them and them get scared, because he is a German Shepherd. German Shepherds can have a bad name, and they also have the potential to be aggressive. So if he reacts to them being scared, or I just don't want the scenario at all, in all honesty. I would rather him be 100% on recall, which I think you should do with any dog, no matter the breed. But I don't know, I just want to take these precautionary steps. And I also want to be a responsible dog owner. I would like to heel train him to where he doesn't have to walk on a leash, to where I know for a fact he'll stay. Yes, I will have him leashed on the places that you're supposed to have him leashed. But for the just in case, if he does perhaps get out because he's figured out he can jump over my fence, or if I'm literally just walking from the car to the front door and he jumps out of the car before I grab the leash. Like, there are scenarios that just naturally happen on accident that I just want to be able to know that he trusts me and I trust him to be able to come walk next to me and be behaved and polite and not just run off and think he can just go and do all willy-nilly whatever the heck he wants. I don't want that. And then I also don't want him to run up to other people's fences that have dogs and do like the chasey thing with another dog at the fence. That's a huge distraction, and that potentially can be a dangerous situation too, trying to, you know, gather your dog away from there. He's trying to get through the dogs. You know, it's a scary situation in general. And I want to know that if I do recall him, he could do it no matter what. So just preventative measures and certain things that I can do. I was talking to another neighbor. Look at me talking to all my neighbors. She owns horses, and she has a cattle dog and just like a family dog, and they are always at the fence, and you know, they do the barky thing. They're protecting their territory, which is normal whenever I walked away. But I kind of asked her, I was like, can we potentially have you leave your dogs out, or have it be out like whenever you're doing your horses and stuff? Have the dogs out at a certain time where I could walk by, and I want to do some placement training and have him focus on me while her dogs are going nutty, and use that as like the perfect distraction and desensitize him more to it. Like, he already doesn't acknowledge them much whenever we walk by, which is totally cool. But I also want him to be able to do that off leash, and I think that would be a great experiment to start doing, maybe every once in a while. Not every time, because I could make my walks really long and drawn out. But I want it, you know, real life scenarios I want to work with. I've already had people in uniform say hi to my pup before. You know, I've had a couple police officers say hi to the pup just when they're at the park or doing whatever police officers do. I'm like, hey, can you pet my dog? You know, I take them and drop them off, or drop the kids off to school every day with the pup, and then also pick him up, so he's already used to people at the side of the car, because for the pickup line, they have the teacher with each kid that's getting in the car. So he's already used to that. He is starting to realize, like, when the kids actually get out of the car, he's like, wait a minute, my babies are leaving. So that's another exercise we're doing, to where he's not allowed to cry and freak out and whine whenever they get out of the car. You know, he doesn't necessarily try to follow them, but he like kind of perks up and whines and yowls and moos and like tries to go to the back of the car, because he sits in the front seat, and he tries to go to the back of the car and stare out the window. And I don't like that so much. Like, I don't want him to think he could have free reign and run all over the car whenever he wants. That's not, I don't know, maybe I'm just too picky and my expectations are too high for a dog. I don't know. What if he gets excited and like I have a friend in the car or something, and they go to get out, and he like jumps in the back seat when my kids are in the back seat and steps all over them? You know, I don't know. Maybe let me know. Are my expectations too high? I mean, because it is a potential. Like, Maybe I'm overthinking it. I am an overthinker, that is for sure. Now I do for these cut out my long pauses and my obnoxious breathing. So if you do see cuts in these or hear random cuts or whatnot, that's why. I don't like my breathing. I feel like my breathing's really annoying. It's bad when my own breathing annoys me. I don't really have an archery update. I think now we're just getting the bow more tuned into me. We're still working on my form, but now we're getting like the sight setted. We're making sure my peep, which is the little hole you look through and you line it up with your sight to look through. So we're just getting that all lined up and stuff. I do have to wax my strings, which I haven't done yet, so it'll be my first time. My husband's going to teach me. And unfortunately, I am down to 3 arrows because I have broken a few. So we are going to order me some and make them. I think my husband's gonna make them, but I kind of wanna help him. I thought that would be a really cool process to learn because he just set up that arrow saw. And I kind of want to check it out. Like I want to use it. I want to play with his new toy. But he's also like, it's my new toy. I want to use it. Like, so I might let him make the first few arrows for me, and then we have to set up a special little block thing and drill it onto there for my son's arrows because they're so short. And maybe I can help him with that. But yeah, I've been shooting. It's still not every day like I would like, but my husband's work schedule has been super crazy and I like to just shoot with him. It's kind of our time together, one as a family, and I really just enjoy hearing the passion he has in his voice for it and how much he loves teaching and whatnot with me and the kids, and I love watching with the kids, so I kind of reserve it for us as a family. I guess I could go out there with just me and the kids and shoot, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I could guide them the way he does for them. He's been shooting for over 20 years, so he has the experience. He can say, hey, your stance was wrong, or hey, you're punching the trigger here, or hey, you know, you're canting, just like different things. I don't know necessarily what to look for. So I want it to be beneficial for the kids, not just going and shooting just for the heck of it and creating bad habits with it. And so between that and the combination of just enjoying him being the one to teach us, I don't really shoot every day right now. But his schedule should be lightening up here in the next couple of weeks. Thank God, because I miss this man. He works too much, but part of owning a business and getting it up and running. So it is what it is. I wish I had more of an update for you. I want another one of these storage cases. I have one supposedly on the way from Amazon. It's been well over a month now. I guess I could ask for the refund, but I'm just hoping that it'll show up. It's another 51, and then if that 51 ever shows up, then I want to get just one of the 78 count ones that are just like the itty bitty ones, because I want more of these. I'm realizing kids use these a lot more. I have my autofocus off because I'm tired of it blurring in and out, so sorry if I go to show you something and it's a little blurry. I don't know, I'll figure this whole setup thing out as we go. Or if I do these kit up videos and I'm chatting, should I just speed up and put music? I don't know. I feel like if it's just like a little bit of music, it defeats the purpose. What are your favorite movies? I've kind of been on a movie kick recently with me and my husband for after the kids go to bed. And we watched The Mask the other night and I died laughing. I forgot how funny that movie could be and just ridiculous. I friggin' loved it. And then we watched The Animal. I died laughing for that one too. So I think I've just been in the mood for a certain type of movie. I also watched Grandma's Boy, and I hadn't seen that in forever. And when the grandma drinks the tea with her friends, it kind of reminded me of my grandma a little bit. Because yes, I've done that with my grandma before. It really helped with her nerve pain, and it was kind of just like an experiment thing. But some of the funniest memories, and it opened up the conversation, and I was able to talk and reminisce with my husband, and I called my grandma, and we talked about just what movies she likes, and just like the whole thing was super funny. And then I had her watch the movie too. I don't know if she's watched it yet, but she said she'll be watching it sometime this week. So I'm excited to see what she thinks of it, because she'll probably think it's hilarious. And she also watches a lot of like true crime, so she gave me a few that she wants me to watch, because we kind of go back and forth sometimes, and I'm really excited for that. Another movie that I have absolutely forgotten about and forgot how much I loved is Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. Oh, I love that movie, and it is pretty accurate. I mean, of course, some of it's overly exaggerated, but I've worked in the bar scene and restaurant scene since I was 14. I am 32 now, and super accurate and absolutely hilarious. I actually called my mom and was like, have you watched this? And she's like, yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. So she kind of put it on and watched it at home with me, because it was her night off. And she watched it at home with me a couple times before. And yeah, so that is a win. Funny movie if you've never seen it. But I brought the topic of movies up because I watched one of my favorite movies that I had actually forgotten about, and that is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love that movie. Now, it's a ridiculous story, obviously completely fake. There's aliens, clown aliens from outer space. Their ship is a tent, and they wrap people up in cotton candy cocoons, and just the creativity of that whole movie gets me every time. And I watch it a couple times a year just because the entertainment of it is so valuable to me, and I always notice something new in the little minute details of it. I can't even explain the creativity. I think everyone should watch that movie. Don't watch it if you're too young. It's not meant for kids. It's meant for adults. It is an adult movie. And yeah, just every scene has something so creatively in it. And I am for it 100%. I think everyone should watch it. The story structure of it, how the clowns don't really talk, but you get so much of what their motive is, and just, I guess at the same time, you don't know what their motive is. It's just what they do. And I don't know. It's fantastic. And I laugh so hard. I almost want to watch it again, even though I just saw it. My husband's like, I don't understand you. Even though he is the one that introduced me to the movie a long time ago, and it has turned into one of our favorites to watch together. Another one of our favorites to watch together is the movie Just Friends. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. My father-in-law came over, and I was like, let's put a movie on. The kids are going to bed. And I put that movie on, and he died laughing too. Oh, man. So yeah, just a little bit of a movie kick recently, because I haven't been reading much, which is weird. I normally have something going, but I'm still on book 2 of the one that I've been talking about for a while, of the Harley Quinn series from Susan Valenti and, what is it, her other name? The other girl's name. Susan Valenti and Caroline Peckham. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm still reading that series just super, super slowly. I haven't really had time to. I own the physical books and I own the audiobooks, but I haven't really been listening to the audiobooks because I've been on a YouTube kick too. I found this channel a little while ago, and I've kind of been binging it this week. It's called Cults to Consciousness. I'll link it down below. But yeah, it's definitely turning into one of my favorite channels and eye-opening to me. So if you're very interested in any type of content about like cults and listening to first-hand experiences and stuff like that, definitely watch their channel. Her and her boyfriend run it, and it is super good and very well produced. Like, it's not just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not badly produced or anything like that. Like, the production value of it, so good. So good. They should have their own show, honestly. And I hope one day that those avenues open up for them. because super interesting. I love that they bring people in that actually have firsthand experience, so it's not just like research based too, but there is a lot of research based stuff in it that is just so good. Please check it out. Some of it can be triggering, so make sure you know what your triggers are before, but they're pretty open and about it, what each one is about. They sometimes in the beginning will give an example of what they're talking about, like a clip later on in that episode. I think they also have a podcast, and they promote a lot of other people to watch too. So good. So good. Okay, I can stop bragging about that. I want to bust through this for a minute. This is going to be a kind of quick whip and chat, or kit up and chat. I normally talk a lot more, but this week didn't have much going on, I guess. Oh, we should talk about date night. We had an impromptu date night. Now, sometimes as a parent, you need a break, which is totally fine. We accept that breaks need to happen. So I messaged my father-in-law and was like, hey, what you doing this weekend? You want the kids? And he's all, actually, yeah. Can I take them out to dinner? I was like, of course you can take them out to dinner. And then I was like, well, what time? And he told me the time, and I realized my husband wouldn't be off work after then. So I didn't want to be like, oh, can we go? And make my husband rush to get ready and stuff. Like, I wanted him to have a chance to kind of relax, because normally as soon as he gets home, it's all about the kids, and he doesn't ever kind of just get to put his feet up and relax after work. So I was like, no, we're not going to go with you. Just take the kids. So I dropped them off and kind of was like, now what? So I edited some videos and whatnot. And then my husband called and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, the kids are with your dad and we don't really have any plans. He's like, that's awesome. You want to go get sushi? So we had an impromptu sushi date. He was still in all of his paint get up and covered in paint and probably sweaty, and I had not prepared either. I was wearing just like the comfy pants, or not like yoga pants type, and just like a comfy shirt. So it was not like we're getting up, we're gonna get all dressed up and do a crazy fancy date night, which, you know, I love doing those, but it's been a while. But it was just such a nice, random, like, let's do this. And then afterwards we were able to go to Walmart because I needed to get a new cord for my laptop. And it was nice. We got some things from Walmart because, you know, when you're shopping, you kind of forget other things, or just the things you don't normally think about. Like, he's like, I need a new mirror for when I shave, because he likes to use a handheld mirror so he can get all up close in there, whatnot, for when he shaves. And we got a new mirror, got new razor heads, some smell good stuff, bath stuff, and I don't know, it was just nice to walk around the store and be like, let's look at the craft stuff, let's look at this, and just take our time and not have a mission. It was a perfect date. It was amazing, and we really needed that. And I am for it. Like, sometimes you just forget how nice those times could be. And yeah, so now I'm like, well, what can we do for our next date night? Like, I want to go on a date again. We go really long periods of time without dates, and I kind of want to date my husband again. Like, I want to make it a regular thing. So I'm talking to the family and seeing if we can do a schedule like once or twice a month during the summer of just planned date nights. You sometimes get so involved with life, you forget to have fun. Not that we don't have fun. We do family nights, we have board games, we go fishing, we do the archery thing together. But it's a lot of family time that I feel like sometimes we neglect the one-on-one time of us just as a couple. You know, not just husband, wife, or, you know, parents or caregivers and whatnot. Like, just us being together and having a good time. So I think our next date night is going to be laser tag. I want to do laser tag so bad. Normally for the date nights that I plan, because you know, go big or go home, I do Monopoly night, or we'll do poker night and just kind of stay in and put a movie on or put some music on or whatnot and play Monopoly, because I love Monopoly and he is so patient and nice, but he also loves poker, so I try to make it even so we can do a little bit of both. A lot of static still in that. But yeah, so they just revamped and expanded the laser tag facility, and I used to go laser tagging all through high school. So much fun, and now it's like double the size, and they added new maze areas and hiding spots, and I just want to check it out. You know, how fun would that be? I'm so excited, and he's for it too, so I am so down. He is down, and I mean, I guess that's something we can do with the kids too sometime. I'm not trying to exclude the children, but at the same time, that first time, I want to go hard. Like, I want no mercy between me and my husband. I want us to just go at it. It just sounds so fun, and we're both so competitive. And then after that, we could take the kids, you know, and let them experience it and kind of guide them. I'll have one kid, he could have the other, and we can do like teams or something. But that first time, I want to go wild and out with it. Is that messed up? I don't know. Or maybe we could do the kids first. Now I'm probably overthinking it. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll talk to him. Well, I've already kind of talked to him. He said I'm down for whatever. Either way, we're going to do it twice. He doesn't care what order it's in. So I guess that could be a sign that I am overthinking it. And then other date night ideas. I do want to try a couple new restaurants in town, but that's so typical. Like, we always eat food. My favorite is to recreate food that we get out in restaurants. So maybe we could try a couple different restaurants, and then with the kids, I could experiment how to cook them. I guess we can go bowling too. Bowling is always fun, and my husband loves bowling. There's one, you know those things you're just good at and you win? He wins at bowling. I don't really bowl. I'm not a competitive bowler. I am a competitive person, but bowling, I don't know. It just doesn't bring out my competitive side, so I just have fun and lollygag and throw the ball and kind of see, and I dance and I get ridiculous and I have fun that way. He is competitive and he wins every time. I don't, but the thing is Monopoly, he has never won it with Monopoly, ever. Like, I totally win every single time. And there's been times, like, we've been playing against each other for 10 years. So there have been times where, you know, he's like, yes, I'm so close. And then I just swoop in and annihilate him. And it's not really fair. I don't know why. Monopoly is a game of luck. I don't cheat. He has, you know, accused me of cheating before. He's like, there's no way. We've been together for 10 years and you are still winning. You have to be cheating. So we've switched around who's banker, who does the cards, double reading, triple reading the rules of the game. And no, I just win. I don't think I've ever lost at Monopoly. Ever. Well, no, that's not true. I'm thinking back to middle school and high school. I think there was a couple times, but it was with a bunch of people playing, like maxed out on the board. Those games last forever. I don't like playing with a ton of people because then it lasts too long, and I'm never at one place for too long, and I don't want people at my house for that long either because it can last days. So yeah, I try to keep that as like a family game. I was even like that in middle school. I did have friends that lived with me though. Like, my mom would take in my stray friends, which was fantastic. And I would play Monopoly with them, of course. I used to, my cousin, whenever I'd visit my dad, we would play Monopoly all the time. I spilled these everywhere. Oops, I did it again. Wow, the static is just atrocious. Yeah, we used to play Monopoly all the time. And I remember one year we didn't have a Monopoly game. So we made it out of cardboard. And that's probably one of my funnest memories I have, is literally making our own names for them and our own prices. We did have dice, of course, but we didn't have like the board game. So we made Made that out of cardboard. We were able to make like the size for it and everything. It was so much fun and so creative. And we got to make our own little pieces, and that'll forever be one of my favorite memories of visiting California. And I think we used that board game for a couple years. Like, of course, my dad and my stepmom would eventually buy us a new board game, but I think we ended up using that one for a long time. I can't believe it lasted. But yeah, so that's always an option. If you don't have a board game, just make it. And whoever you're making it with, just get creative and have fun with it. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that for a minute. Maybe I can talk my husband into making a board game with me. Although every year to every other year, he gets me a new Monopoly game. So I have a little collection. I definitely like seeing the new ones that come out. Unfortunately, when the kids were young, they had gotten into the cabinet I keep all of our, all of our games in. So a lot of them got destroyed, lost pieces and stuff like that. So last year and this year, I'm kind of revamping, going through the old ones that look ratty or I know have missing pieces that I've made new pieces for. And kind of just restock up and redo those. Like we had a Twister game, but the board, the thing on the ground that you put on had holes in it, and you can't really patch those up well. So I think my goal for this year and next year is just to get a couple new board games for the family. I did throw out our Jumanji game. I couldn't figure that out. I couldn't. I don't know why that game is so difficult for me to understand. And Clue. How do you play Clue? I have watched YouTube videos. I have kind of played it with my daughter. She likes to play. She plays with, you know, her friends or whatnot, but I don't understand Clue. So, I don't know. I think I just need to play with someone that understands it instead of trying to, like, make it up as I go so my daughter can play her favorite game, because I guarantee you we're probably playing it wrong. Or she'll be like, we didn't do it this way when I played with so-and-so, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't understand it. I don't know. Is there any games that you just don't understand? So far, these diamonds from Dreamer Designs don't seem too bad. I have seen a little bit more trash than I do for Diamond Art Club, but I don't have much to truly compare it to. I've only done one Diamond Art Club and then this. I am so messy at this. But so far, so good. I am loving this color palette. It's bright, it's pink, it's purple. It's fun. My Q-tip is getting all... I have a feeling I'm just destroying this table. I saw on Facebook that Static Guard ruined the top of one of the group's members' tables, but I haven't had that experience yet. And also, this desk that I'm working on, I got for like 20 bucks off of Amazon, or no, what is it called? It's a social media platform. Facebook platform. So, I mean, it's not like I'm out a ton of money. I even delivered it for free. Like, it was pretty legit. It was like this college kid that's like, I'm moving out of state. I'm so close to being done. Do I have any other stuff to talk about? I guess I can talk about how weird it is to have a regular sleep routine. Because I think I've talked about it before. I used to have terrible insomnia. Not insomnia, it's just I was used to working all night, and then of course when you have babies, they keep you up all night, and now they're all sleeping through the night regularly. So my first time in my life having a normal sleep schedule, but it took so long to get here. I literally had to get a sleep mask. I had to lay down for months at the same time every single night. You know, even if I wanted to be on social media, even if I wasn't tired, and I slowly increased like earlier and earlier in the evening to get a regular sleep schedule so that I could get up and not feel like death getting the kids ready for school, or just tossing and turning and laying there all night, or getting sucked into a show, or playing with my phone all night. So I just turn off all stimuli, and every single night did that. Sleep mask, no thing. And eventually I started falling asleep every night at the same time. Now it's getting to a ridiculous level. I can barely make it past 9 o'clock at night. You know, like on weekends, there are times where it's like 8:30, 8 o'clock, and my kids will be finishing up a movie or whatever, and I'm already falling asleep on the couch. Now their bedtime is pretty early for the weekdays. I try to keep it at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then 8:30, 9 o'clock for the weekends. So I'm going to bed about the same time. Normally I get about an hour and a half after they go to bed. But now I'm waking up at like 5 in the morning and going to bed at 8. My husband's like, what is going on? Like, I'm falling asleep. I can't even make it through a whole movie anymore. We tried to watch the King Kong movie. What was it? I think like 4 or 5 nights ago. And it took 3 nights for me to get through it. I couldn't even, it's like a 3-hour long movie. I think it's longer than 3 hours. I don't think I ever actually finished it. Oh no. But I know he did. But I can't do it anymore. I feel like a whole new human being. But I think a lot of it is to have this ritual. I turn off every light in the house. My husband goes back behind me and turns them back on if he's not ready for bed and whatnot. I turn the TV down so I can't hear it in the bedroom. He turns it back up because he'd like to hear it. I'm just kidding. I don't turn it down that much, but he does. He's like, honey, that's too low. I'm like, okay, well, can you turn it down to what you could hear it at? And so it's like our new routine that we kind of laugh about. I don't have sweets every night before bed anymore. I stopped that a while ago, and it's really benefited my sleep. Even if it's like a sugar-free something, or I try not to eat before bed, I've noticed it gives me energy, except for bananas. Banana before bed, I sleep fantastic, and I also don't get Charlie horses. So, fact, do that if you get Charlie horses or you need to sleep better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an actual scientific thing, but it's one thing I have noticed regularly if I'm having a hard time falling asleep. And I've also been eating dinner a little bit earlier, so I think I've digested more than I'm used to. But yeah, definitely that nighttime routine. I don't have like a skincare routine. I should. I mean, I guess I do sometimes. Like I brush my teeth or I'll splash water on my face, but other times it's just inconvenient. I'd rather just wake up, shower, wash my face in the morning. And it's not like I wear makeup a lot anyways. Now, if I do have makeup on, I will do a whole, you know, face routine. But if I don't, I'll just splash water and wipe it off. It's fine. But I think doing the same thing every single night and getting no extra stimuli and stuff like that has helped tremendously. And also kind of like it signals to my body like, hey, it's time to start relaxing and getting tired. And it's funny because I would naturally do those things for my children so that they would get on a regular routine sleep schedule. And I don't know why I never considered that to be something I need to do for myself. Like I was so concerned about them getting enough sleep and them having a routine and making sure, you know, teeth brushed, hair brushed, pajamas, have you gone to the bathroom? Did you have water next to your bed? Do you need this? Do you need a snack? Just like those simple things. Like why would I forget and neglect myself? Why do we do that as adults? Like we over worry about everyone else around us that sometimes it's like, why don't you do that for yourself? Like the take your own advice. Like you can give advice to someone and be like, damn, that was good advice. But when it comes to you doing something like that, you're like, wait, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should do that. I've noticed that. But yeah, my husband too, like I was telling him, hey, I got here and it took years, I feel like. Like I've been slowly putting these things in practice for myself over the years. Like it didn't happen just in a few months, but I kind of, you know, said, hey, this month I'm gonna work on this and try this. And then that turned into multiple months of doing that. And then just increasing things every time so it's not trying to overwhelm you and do everything at once. I kind of want to do a video of just like a New Year's resolution check-in because it's, what, hitting May? Or should I do that for a 6-month? I don't know, but this is the first year I have made resolutions or whatever it's called and stuck to them. So yeah, I kind of want to talk about how in the planning I went in and to do that so that that could happen. 38.40. This has gone so well. The static is atrocious, but I think that has to do with climate. Because I live in Arizona and it's hot and dry, so I feel like static might be more of a thing for me, which is unfortunate because it's a pain in the butt and it really pisses me off. And I feel like I could have been done with this like forever ago. But this is moving way faster than my first time when I was trying to figure it out. And on top of that, I kind of set it up a little bit more before because I was doing every step on camera and that takes too long and you have to worry about staying in frame and whatnot. I guess I can talk to you about my nails because I did change them up. I got a different color going here. It's definitely light and still neutral. I'm used to doing color, like colorful stuff, so this Dashing Diva thing has been more of a neutral thing. It's just the options my little shopping center has. But I did look on their website and they do have some more vibrant colors, so I might order some online. And then I did realize that if they are not super neutral, I have to be more selective with the sizing I choose. So I may not be able to get 3 wears, possibly not even 2 wears if I actually size it correctly, but I'm also not that picky or that much of a perfectionist. Now, when it comes to actually painting them, I am. It takes me forever to actually paint my nails, but just like for the stickers for a quick 20-minute thing, like this, I had to do this in 10 minutes, so they don't look as good as my last few sets. But I think I like this like seafoam color. Hold on, let me turn off on the autofocus. Like it's a pretty seafoam color. And I'm also realizing I kind of like the neutrals. Before I was like, no, I want to have the crazy colors and the layers of toppings and all of that fun stuff. So I don't know, I'm kind of, am I turning into a neutral girly? 550. I don't think so. I kind of want to keep going because I'm so close to being done. I only have like 3 more after this, but I don't have much else to talk about. I guess, what are you guys cooking this week for dinner? I don't know what I'm cooking for dinner. I did a meatloaf the other night and it was phenomenal. I forgot how, I do my meatloafs, they're kind of like, I call them trash cakes or trash meat because not very nice saying, but I put all kinds of stuff in there. It depends on what I have in the house. Like I've done, instead of breadcrumbs, because one time I forgot to buy breadcrumbs, I smashed up Cheez-Its. And that one came out freaking delicious. This time I did pork rinds instead of breading. So now I just kind of get creative and see what works and doesn't work. But what is good is if you get the bags of the cubed cheese, like I get the Great Value ones, and you can do pepper jack, you can do the sharp cheddar, or really just any kind you like. Or you can cut up cheese sticks and mix that in your meatloaf. So freaking good. Like my children love meatloaf days. Not only because they get to mix everything in the meat together and shape it into the loaf pan and stuff, because who doesn't like doing that? They sure love it. I know I loved it as a kid. And I don't get meat all over my hands. But anyways, they love it. They're like, well, what are we gonna put it in this time? I think one time we used chicken and biscuits. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy and you guys think I'm absolutely murdering and mutilating some meatloaf, but it's kind of like a fun dinner to make with the family. And then you can kind of do whatever sides. Like my grandma's side, whenever I make meatloaf, she loves black eyed peas with a little bit of red devil on them. So I'll do that for her. I like roasted broccoli, but I like roasted broccoli with like anything. My kids like stuffing and green beans. So it's just kind of like, what are we gonna do this time? And it's very easy to get the whole family involved, I think. I love meals like that. Spaghetti, my husband has bad acid, so I haven't been able to make like anything too tomatoey recently, but I'm about ready to break that. Like he could have, I can kind of make him his own thing, or I can grill him a steak or something, because I need some tomatoes in my life. Also, tomato season's coming up, and who doesn't love BLTs? I love BLTs. I could live off of them. I think I had one almost every day last summer, just because I love them so much, or making some bruschetta or anything with tomatoes, really. I am for that life. Tomatoes in general are my favorite flavor ever. And it sucks because as I get older, I am noticing my stomach isn't as tough as it used to be. I used to put hot sauce and hot peppers and salsa and anything spicy on every single meal I had to have. Nowadays, I cannot do that. I have to limit it. I can have one spicy thing once a day. I used to have it with every meal. Now it's once a day. How sad is that? I miss being able to eat whatever I want. Those days are long gone. Long, long gone. All right, so this is my last one. I am going to tape the sides of my canvas. I'm going to film another video and maybe start the project, but I just kind of wanted to do my whip and chat and check in with you guys. Sorry it was a kit up this time and not a full on, you know, working on something. Those tend to be a little bit easier to do, but I was really excited to try this new company, Dreamer Designs. The diamonds do seem to be a little bit more trashy, but I mean, I can't have super high expectations for everything. I don't know how they'll stick to the canvas, and I'm kind of loving trying something different. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about my life. Is there any other topics you want me to ever address and talk about? I do also make WIP story time, so if there's like a story time you ever want to hear or anything like that, let me know. Also, if you have any questions about opinions I have on certain topics, I'm okay to get a little controversial sometimes. I do WIP and opinions, so let me know if there's an opinion you want to know, and I will do that as a WIP and chat. I call them WIP and opinions, so just keep me posted on that. Editing me, I forgot to show you the canvas, so I'm gonna pop that in so you can see it. And have a good day. It was really good talking to you guys. Bye.